Hi, I'm Dana, and I'm from Eastern Europe. In this channel, I'm planning to publish my feminist texts as audio, so you can listen while you're cooking or doing anything else. That's what I've been doing, at least. I love to listen to gender-critical or radical feminist content, particularly when I'm cleaning. But I have trouble finding content that I like. Although I admire women who have their own radical feminist podcasts, I often turn off their stuff after a while because it can be quite rambly and repetitive, and I often don't learn anything new. Multiple authors have written even 10 or more years ago, when social networks were just starting out, that the internet is making us less smart. Now, in terms of feminism, there is great difference in the way feminist thoughts spread now in the age of the internet to, for example, the second wave. While now we have social networks and various online forums as the place where most feminist ideas are discussed. In the 70s and 80s, at least in the UK, women often used written newsletters. By this, I mean that groups of women all over the country wrote articles, typed them up on a typewriter, published them, and sent them to other women by post. Another important way to discuss feminism was at conferences. Sheila Jeffreys writes that at the height of the movement in the 70s, you could go to a different feminist conference in the UK every week. At such a feminist conference, any woman could lead a workshop and make a speech. But, as far as I know, she had to at least prepare the speech in advance. She had to think it through. She had to put her thoughts on paper in a manner that will make sense, will offer new information, and will not be repetitive. As this is what I'm missing in the world of feminist podcasts, I've decided to put such content out myself. Now, why did I name my channel Hermione's TERF Army? As I've already mentioned, Sheila Jeffreys, you probably suspect that I am a TERF. So yes, I am a heretic, a witch, and some people would like to burn me for criticizing all kinds of worshipped ideologies. By herself, she made the little bag expand indefinitely, and she packed all books they could need in it, as well as extra clothes, a tent, and other life-saving stuff. So when Potter and company had to indeed run and hide, they would have been completely lost without the bag and without Hermione's skills. Anyway, why Hermione's army? People who are not Harry Potter fans could find this a bit cheesy, but I am a fan, so let's dive in. The two other members of the famous trio, Harry and Ron, would be absolutely lost without Hermione. In the story, she saves their lives too many times to count. How? By studying, by doing the quote-unquote boring work of listening to lectures, reading books, practicing spells, and writing school papers. That's why, at the tender age of 17, she was able to do advanced magic that gave Harry Potter the support he needed to save the world. Just remember the beaded bag in the last Harry Potter volume. For non-Potterheads, Hermione put a very clever and advanced spell on a tiny handbag in which she put everything the Potter trio could need if they had to run, hide, and try to bring Voldemort down without the help of adults. By herself, she made the little bag expand indefinitely, and she packed all books they could need in it, as well as extra clothes, a tent, and other life-saving stuff. When Potter and company had to indeed run and hide, they would have been completely lost without the bag and without Hermione's other skills. Although I have wanted to read more feminist books, as well as spend more time writing, and stop engaging on social media for a very long time, I only made the drastic decision to do it 2 months ago, after I read Harry Potter again. It was because I became very inspired and motivated by Hermione's character. I believe her sort of bravery is exactly what feminism needs at this point, and I have arguments to support it. Many authors have claimed that we live in a type of dystopia that's very similar to Huxley's novel called Brave New World. Simplified, in this world everyone is so amused that they have no time to revolt against unfair hierarchies. I believe this is a very good metaphor for today's world, even if all the amusement we have on hand is actually very boring. Just think of the time you spend scrolling down your social media feed, bored to death, yet unable to turn the damn thing off. That's because it's a different sort of fun than you'd get from playing with your dog or going for a swim in a lake. There's a whole neuroscience behind it, but I believe most of us know the difference without needing confirmation from men in white coats. My favorite argument for the harmfulness of social networks is the fact that even their creators banned their own kids from using them. I'll quote from the Irish Independent. Steve Jobs was the first tech giant to admit in 2011 that his own children had not used the recently released iPad, created by his company. Quote, "We limit how much technology our kids use at home." End of quote. And he wasn't alone. Microsoft founder Bill Gates set time limits on screens, banned mobile phones at the table, and didn't let his children have them until they were 14. I'll include the link to the article in the description to this video. The people who are behind the tech that governs social networks know that they programmed them with a specific goal to get people hooked on them. And they know that, sadly, their invention worked. I believe that what they've actually created is a gigantic, widely used slot machine, the sort you would see in casinos. Now, whatever your goal is, like raising awareness or helping people, when you use social media to reach that goal, you are also engaging in a game, and you are interacting with people who are also playing a game. For example, the game of who will get most likes on Facebook. Thus, your activity becomes gamified. Let's say you're trying to raise awareness about an issue. In my case, it's women's oppression, but it can be any issue. How does the medium you're using affect your goal? Well, as you're taking part in a gamified world, first of all, your own thinking changes. Just as when you're playing a video game or even a board game, you become interested in winning. In terms of social media, when you use it, you will start counting likes, retweets, and the ratio of positive to negative comments. You will compare these to the number of likes and to the ratios of other people who also play the Facebook game. So let's say you've engaged on social media for a year, gained followers and likes. Have you also reached your goal to spread awareness about an issue? Well, in fact, you don't know. But you know how many likes you got. This is tangible information, a proof that you made some kind of difference, even if you have no way of knowing if your message was understood. Anyway, you've reached some kind of quantifiable result. But you've probably also realized it's hard to catch someone's interest on social media. Of course, when people are playing any game with high stakes, they are very unlikely to be in the state of mind suitable for reading long, complicated texts, for example. So you become aware of this and you simplify. You make your message short, you make it flashy, you make it funny, you make it outrageous. However, when you educate people, you need them to grasp the context, the complexity of the issue. You're hardly going to do that by a short sentence or a flashy picture. You're also going to fail in showing the people behind the slot machines the nuance of the thing. They're busy. At any time now, they could be winning. To summarize, instead of awareness raising, you could find yourself collecting likes, simplifying your message until you get to a total erasure of meaning, and you could find yourself competing with other quote-unquote social media gamblers who play the raising awareness game. So, you're noticing other people's results. Did her video get more likes? Does she have a better ratio? It's not petty, it's normal. In every game people compete with each other. That's the problem when one wants to do liberation or education through a gamified system. Games need opposing teams. So, there are Posey fans, or Boyce fans, or Murphy fans, or any other fans. There are also antis. Every criticism will get you hate from the fans. Every praise will get you hate from the antis. Nuance is lost, ideas are lost, and we're competing for ratios. It's not my intention to scold anyone here. I believe competition and jealousy is a normal human trait, but I do think that social media makes it worse. Not only is the gambling for likes dividing even those women who are natural allies, it is making us starved for real information, for real insights, for awareness. But also, disengaging can be hard. After all, gambling is extremely addictive. Social media is designed to keep us using it. I believe, though, that we are able to fight it. That's why I'm summoning Hermione. She knew that knowledge is power. She knew that putting an effort into learning can be hard, but she also knew that it is incredibly enriching and it is vitally important for survival. Moreover, who wouldn't want to learn magic? And feminism is magic.